Thursday mornings in Glenwood Park always began the same. Birds chirped over freshly cut lawns, sunlight spilled through the blinds in warm ribbons, and somewhere in the distance, the low hum of a lawnmower joined the soundtrack of suburban calm. For Ethan Landry, 28, this morning felt no different at first. He stood in the kitchen, a steaming mug of Colombian roast in hand, AirPods in, laptop open to a half-prepared sales deck he barely cared about. Working from home had its perks. Outside, the sprinklers clicked on, sending arcs of water over his immaculately trimmed front yard. Life was ordinary, slow, quiet. In the den, his grandfather, Leonard Landry, sat in his recliner, a dog-eared Western paperback resting open in his lap. At 82, Leonard had the stoic bearing of a man who'd been through more wars than weather reports. He spoke little, but when he did, it meant something. His silence filled a room with the weight of history. Then came the knock. Not the soft rap of a neighbor or the casual buzz of a delivery driver. No, this was hard and fast, pounding, aggressive, insistent. Ethan froze, his heart jumping. He set down his coffee and approached the front door, peeking through the peephole. 3 men stood on the porch, dressed in black cargo pants and tactical vests that read HOA enforcement in bold white letters. One held a clipboard. Another wore sunglasses, despite the shade. All 3 had the hard-set expressions of men on a mission. Ethan opened the door a crack. "Can I help you?" he asked. The man in front stepped forward, casually resting his hand on the doorframe. "We're conducting an emergency inspection on behalf of the HOA," he said, voice firm but rehearsed. "We need access to the property. It won't take long." Something felt off. Ethan blinked. "Emergency inspection? I've never heard of anything like that. Do you have a warrant or any actual paperwork?" The man raised a bad laminated, flimsy-looking. "No seal, no signature." The clipboard held dense, official-looking text, but again, no signatures or stamps. The second man shifted slightly, his boots scuffing the welcome mat. Behind them, the third stood silent, arms folded. Ethan felt the pressure building in his gut. This wasn't right. "Look," he said, voice tight, "if you really represent the HOA, I need confirmation from the board. Or a legal warrant." The man in sunglasses barked. "We don't need a warrant. You're already in violation. Refusal to comply will be noted." Before Ethan could respond, the leader shoved the door with his shoulder, not hard enough to break it, just enough to wedge his boot inside. Ethan stumbled back, and in that moment, the 2 others followed, stepping into the foyer like they owned it. The silence in the house shifted. No more humming fan. No clock ticking. Just the hard clomp of boots on hardwood. Then came the sound that changed everything, the click of a pump-action shotgun. At the top of the staircase, bathed in soft morning light, stood Leonard. One hand on the banister, the other holding a Mossberg 500 with the familiarity of an old friend. "You're not with the HOA," Leonard said, voice even. "And you're not welcome here." The intruders froze. Ethan, heart-pounding, looked from them to his grandfather. Leonard didn't waver. "Out. Now." One of the men twitched, hand moving toward his belt. Leonard didn't hesitate. He raised the shotgun and fired straight into the ceiling. Drywall exploded. The house shook. The message was clear. "Out. Now." Their bravado cracked. The youngest backed up, palms raised. Another muttered about procedure. The third stared at the barrel like it was counting down. Ethan pulled out his phone, fumbling to dial. 911. "What is your emergency?" 3 men. "Fake HOA. Forced entry. My grandfather's armed. He's protecting us. Send help." Leonard never moved. The men didn't dare. The sirens arrived 6 minutes later. Red and blue lit up the cul-de-sac. Officers moved in with precision, Ethan stepping back from the doorway, hands raised. Leonard stood still, weapon lowered but ready. One officer addressed him calmly. "Sir, please set the weapon down and step back." Leonard nodded. Set the shotgun gently on the stairs. Walked down with quiet dignity. The men were cuffed, searched. From one, a taser. From another, zip ties. No IDs. No HOA documentation. Just forged papers and printed vests. They weren't real. Not even close. Over the next few hours, the story unfolded. They were ex-security contractors fired for misconduct. No legal authority. No HOA affiliation. Just intimidation masked in faux uniforms. They had targeted several neighborhoods, always quiet homes, elderly residents, families unlikely to resist. Until now, the HOA board was stunned, issued a statement condemning the actions, promised new verification measures. But for Glenwood Park, the damage was done. Ethan uploaded the doorbell footage that night. No filters, no edits, just the truth. By morning, 600,000 views. By day's end, 1.3 million. The image that burned through the internet? Leonard Landry, flannel pajama pants, gray beard, standing at the top of the stairs with a shotgun and a stare that said, "Try me." Memes exploded. Gerald the Guardian, HOA Terminator, Old School Justice. One brewery even sent a crate of beer with a label, "Leonard's Law Aged Strong." Leonard never cared. When Ethan showed him the view count, he said, "That good?" and went back to patching the ceiling. Weeks passed. Charges were filed: trespassing, impersonating officers, attempted burglary. The men folded fast under questioning. Their scheme was done. And Leonard? He stayed the same. Quiet. Solid. He didn't retell the story. Didn't bask in attention. When asked why he did it, he just said because it had to be done. One night, Ethan sat with him, movie playing low. "I still can't believe you did that," Ethan said. Leonard sipped his water. "Next time they knock," he replied, eyes on the screen, "knock back harder." He stood, walked to the porch, grabbed a beer from the mini-fridge, and sat in his chair. The shotgun rested by the door. Not for show. Not for fear. Just because it belonged there. The world might keep trying to take what isn't theirs. Pretend authority. Fake power. But every now and then, it meets someone like Leonard Landry, a man with nothing to prove, everything to protect, and the will to remind them. Some doors don't open. Some knock back.